Okay.
Hello, my name is Nikita, and I will present Ukraine in our negotiation assignment. So our topic is Ukraine and Russia war. So I will be representing Ukraine side, and uh,
My
yes.
name is Bivusana, and in our negotiation, I will be representing Russia.
Okay, so I guess we can start. We can start. So. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining this meeting. I know that the topic is difficult, and I would like to start it in a calm and professional way. The goal today is not to solve the whole war. Let's just start with a small but real package that reduces suffering and reduces risk. If we can do it, it will it will good start for us to build the trust between us for the next steps.
Good afternoon. I agree with your approach. This conflict is serious and emotional. We do not have to agree on everything today, but we can try to find practical steps that make the situation more stable. I also want to speak in a very respectful way.
Thank you. Before we start, can we agree on three simple rules? First, we do not interrupt each other. Second, we focus on the future more than on our past. And third, if we will disagree between, between each other, we can explain our reasons and we do not insult each other.
Yes, thank you, and I agree with these ground rules that you have.
Good. I also want to add one more rule. We try to separate people from a problem. This means we can disagree strongly about issues, but we will still speak respectfully for each other as a people.
I agree, and this is important because words can damage the relationship and make agreement harder for us.
If we reach a difficult moment, we always can take a short break. It's absolutely normal in the negotiation.
You're right, and a break can also help prevent mistakes and reduce our emotions while we are having the negotiation.
To structure the meeting, I propose to discuss about the four issues. Firstly, an energy infrastructure pause, meaning a pause on strikes that cause large power outage. Second, humanitarian issues and prisoners of war. Third, nuclear safety and critical power lines. And fourth, the process for the next meeting included how to separate easy topics from hard topics like a territory.
The agenda, what you said, makes sense to me, so we can move on step by step now.
Okay. Before issue one, I want to recognize that large prisoner exchange happened. Many families waited a long time for this. I know it doesn't fix the war, but it's still a human result.
I agree with you. The exchange is a practical example that we can cooperate on some topics. It also shows that even with low trust, both sides can complete a plan where there is a clear process.
Yes, in negotiation terms, it shows there is still independence. Even with conflict, there are areas where both sides can gain for agreement.
Correct. We should use areas of possible agreement to reduce suffering and reduce risk as well.
One more point. We also see tensions about energy strikes. Some reports say there were short pauses and accusations of new strikes and violations. This is exactly why we need a clearer agreement, not only informal promises.
Yes, you're right. If the rules are unclear, both sides will accuse the other side and the agreement will collapse fast. So it's better to do it that way.
I agree. Let's start with the energy. Ukrainian's position is clear. Large attacks on energy facilities create suffering for civilians. People lose heat, electricity, and water. This is especially dangerous in the winter. Our interest is to protect civilians and keep basic services working.
I understand that. Russia's concern is also about energy. Strikes on our energy systems and border regions can hurt civilians too. Our interest is to reduce damage to civilian systems on both sides and reduce escalation.
So we both have a similar interest. Fewer strikes that create large outage for civilians. The question is, what is the scope? How long and how do we verify?
Exactly. We need practical details, not only good intentions.
Here is a starting proposal. We agree on a 14-day mutual pause on strikes against listed energy targets. The list can include major power plants, high voltage substations, main transmission lines, and district heating facilities. It can also include key gas compressor stations used for civilian heating.
14 days is a start, but Russia needs clarity and flexibility. Some energy sites are dual use. Also, some areas are active conflict zones. We cannot accept an agreement that blocks our security. Our security needs completely. We cannot accept an agreement that blocks our security that needs completely.
I hear you. Let me ask a question to understand your interest behind the position. Where you say security needs, do you mean that you want to keep the ability to attack logistics, troops, and weapons, even if the target is near an energy site?
Yes, we do not want a situation where Ukraine uses the pause to move forces, repair military supply routes, or protect military use of infrastructures.
Thank you for being clear. Ukraine has a similar concern. We don't want a pause that still allows large attacks that cut powers to the cities. So we need a careful definition.
I agree with that. Definitions really matters.
Okay, let's do a short brainstorming. I will list three options and then we choose. Option one, a very narrow pause only for main civilian power plants and large substations. Option two, a medium pause, including power plants, substations, key transmission lines, and district heating. And option number three, a broad pause, including energy targets, plus repair crews and fuel supplies.
In my opinion, option three is too broad, and option one might be too narrow to help civilians, and I think option two seems the most realistic one among all the options here.
I agree. Let's choose option two. Now we must define what is protected. I propose we say civilian priority energy Infrastructure means major generation facilities, high voltage substations, key transmission lines, and district heating facilities.
That definition is acceptable, but we still need a rule for dual use. Some generation or transmission nodes may support military operations.
I propose this rule. The pause protects the listed civilian priority sites, but if one of the sites believes a listed site is being used mainly for direct military operations, it can file a complaint and request a review. During the review, the site stays protected unless the mediator decides there is strong evidence of direct military use.
Um, I have a question. I just want to know who does this review. We cannot accept you deciding, and you cannot accept us deciding.
Agreed. The mediator can do a fast review. The mediator can ask for location, type of facility, and basic evidence. They can also use independent technical advice. We do not need perfect proof, but we need a fair process that avoids abuse.
A fair process is important. Also, we need reciprocity. If we pause on Ukrainian energy targets, Ukraine must pause on Russian energy targets, including in border areas.
Reciprocity is fair. I can agree that the policy applies to both sides equally. But we need a clear rule for what is inside the agreement and what is outside it.
Yes. For example, what about rail systems, repair depots, and fuel storage?
Good question. For this agreement, we should focus only on energy systems, not railways, not general warehouses, not factories. If we include everything, the agreement becomes impossible and will fail.
That clarity definitely helps. Now, about time, you proposed 14 days. Russia prefer 7 days.
Can you explain why 7 days is your preference? I want to understand the reason, not only the number.
Um, of course, 7 days is a test period. If something goes wrong, the damage is limited. Also, leaders feel safer with a shorter period because it reduces political risk.
That is an important point. Space saving and political rules risk. Ukraine also needs a result that can be explained to our public as meaningful. A very short pause may look weak.
So we must find a middle number.
Yes, what about 10 days with an option to extend it if it will work?
A 10-day pause is possible if serious violation is defined.
We can define serious violation in a practical way. For example, a strike on a listed site that causes a major outage affecting more than 100,000 people for more than 6 hours, or that causes a major heating outage in winter. The mediator can judge seriousness based on evidence.
But outages can also be caused by weather or technical failure.
True. So the complaint should focus on evidence for strike and the damage, not only the outage. The mediator can use multiple sources, grid operator reports, photographs, satellite reports where possible, and both side statement.
Okay.
Okay. Now verification. If we do not have a trust, we need a process. I propose each side sends incident reports to the mediator about suspected energy incidents. The mediator keeps a log. Once per week, there is a short review call.
That is acceptable for me.
What about emergency self-defense? Will there be exceptions? I prefer no exceptions because exceptions become loopholes. But I understand the concern. We can add a narrow exception, immediate self-defense against an active military strike, but only on military targets, not on listed energy targets.
That's really good. I think that keeps the agreement focused.
Now we need a response ladder for violations. My concern is that one small incident will collapse the pulse. We need a ladder that is not humiliating.
Yes, you are right, because public blame makes leaders defensive.
I propose a three-step response. Step one, within 12 hours, the complaining side sends a written notice to the mediator with basic details, time, place, type of damage. Step 2. Within 24 hours, both sides join a short call to discuss it. Step 3. If the mediator confirms a likely violation, the violation side takes a corrective step for 48 hours, such as pausing strikes, reiteration, and supporting repair access.
That is acceptable if the process is private to the mediator.
Agreed. The public message can be only we are continuing the agreement and reviewing an incident. No public confession required.
Okay.
Let me summarize first issue. A 10-day mutual pause on strikes against listed civilian priority energy infrastructure. Each site provides up to 25 protected sites. The mediator balances the list. There is a hotline, an incident report, and a weekly review call. There is a private complaint and process and corrective tests. The parties will consider extension if it works.
That's perfect. The summary matches my understanding. The second issue would be humanitarian steps and prisoners of war.
Yeah, issue two is humanitarian steps and prisoners of war. The recent exchange was important. Families on both sides care about the return of their relatives. For Ukraine, we want a clear and regular process, predictable exchanges, better information about missing persons, and human conditions.
For Russia, the goal is similar, return of our people and human treatment. We also want a predictable schedule because sudden exchanges are hard to organize and can create security risks.
Let me propose a humanitarian channel that meets regularly, even if the main political talks are stuck. The channel focuses on three topics: prisoners of war, civilian humanitarian cases, and the return of bodies.
I would like to ask how often.
I suggest once a week, but I can accept once every 2 weeks if they will be more realistic.
I think every 2 weeks is better for planning.
Okay, let's do every 2 weeks.
Okay, but who participates?
A small team from each side, which authority to solve technical problems. Not the full political team, also a mediator representative and a humanitarian representative when needed.
Okay.
Now about POW exchanges. I propose three steps. Step one, continue equal numbers exchanges. Step two, prioritize vulnerable groups, such as wounded prisoners and people held for a very long time. Step three, when trust improves, discuss larger extent exchanges.
Step one and step two are very realistic, but in my opinion, step three is not realistic right now.
Agree. We can keep step three as a long-term idea only.
Okay, but what about the next exchange?
Ukraine proposes the next exchange in 21 days. The number could be 200 total, 100 from each side. The priority is wounded prisoners and those held the longest.
The number is possible, but we need identity checks, medical checks, and a secure location. Also, we need a clear method to confirm lists in advance.
Let's agree on a simple process. Day one, each side sends a draft list to the mediator. Day 5, the humanitarian channel checks names and inconsistencies. Day 10, both sides confirm final lists. And day 21, the exchange happens.
Perfect. That timeline is workable.
We also propose that a neutral humanitarian body supports the process. The Red Cross can assist with identity confirmation, family messages, and human treatment monitoring.
Russia sometimes worries about politicization.
I understand. We can create strict confidentiality rules. No public lists, no media, and humanitarian reports go privately to each side and the mediator.
That's perfect.
Now I want to discuss visits. International rules give the Red Cross a role in visiting POWs and speaking with them privately. These visits reduce rumors and fear, and they help families.
Visits are sensitive for security, but we can discuss a pilot.
A pilot is a good compromise. We can agree one pilot visit cycle within 30 days. Subject to practical arrangements, the Red Cross can conduct private interviews. The results are not public. The goal is human conditions and basic information for families.
That is acceptable as a proposal.
Now, civilian humanitarian cases, Ukraine position is that civilians should not be held as bargaining chips. Our interest is to return civilians, especially vulnerable people, and to clarify missing persons cases.
Russia may say that some civilians are held for security for legal reasons, but humanitarian cases can be reviewed.
Then let us create a humanitarian review list. 50 names from each side. Each side can request review for medical reasons, age, disability, or family reunification. The group reviews cases, sends recommendations to the political leaders.
Recommendations are fine, not automatic release.
Agreed, case by case.
We should also include a missing persons information process. Many families do not know what happened.
Yes, each side can provide monthly updates to the mediator about missing persons, including confirmed captivity, hospital treatment, or death when possible. This reduces rumors and anger.
That's correct. Monthly updates are very realistic.
Now, the return of bodies. The topic is painful but important. A respectful process can reduce anger. We propose a safe coordination window, contact points, and natural presence when possible.
We can agree in principle.
Also, communications matters. We should avoid humanitarian and public treatment of released prisoners because it creates anger and blocks cooperation.
I agree with that. Both sides should respect dignity.
Okay. Let me summarize issue two. A humanitarian channel uh, meeting every 2 weeks. An XPOW exchange in 21 days with a clear list timeline. Red Cross pilot within cycle within 30 days, subject to arrangements and confidently. A humanitarian review list of 50 cases each side, case by case. Monthly missing persons updated. A respectful procedure for return of bodies. A commitment to respect dignity in public communication.
This summary is correct. Issue 3, nuclear safety and critical power lines.
Nuclear safety is technical, but it's extremely important. Even one accident would harm everyone, not only one site. Nuclear sites need stable off-site power for cooling and safety system.
I agree, a nuclear accident would be a disaster for the entire region.
New- We have seen that off-site power can be lost when energy substations and lines are damaged. This creates a risk. We need a safety package linked to energy and repairs.
What do you propose?
Three elements. First, a risk reduction commitment to avoid targeting key substations and power lines that supply nuclear safety system. Second, localized repair window when needed, with local fire for technicians. Third, a technical hotline between nuclear safety experts, supported by the mediator.
The localized repair window is realistic, but we need strict rules so it cannot be used for military movement.
Agreed. The repair window can be time limited, like 72 hours, and area are limited, like a narrow corridor for technicians and equipment. It is announcement in advance, but both sides avoid artillery and drones in the defined area during the window.
Involving the IAEA would add legitimacy.
Yes, the IAEA has exercised and can help confirm technical needs and monitor repairs. This is also a place to use objective standards. Nuclear safety is not politics, it's a basic risk management.
Agreed.
We should also include a fast reporting rule. If off-site power is lost, both sides inform the mediator within 2 hours and avoid actions that could block restoration.
I think that is practical.
Okay, so issue three. Risk reduction commitment on nuclear safety related power supplies. Local repair windows with a strict time and area limits in technical support. A technical hotline fast reporting if off-site power is lost.
I can accept that as a proposal. Think our issue 4 would be a process for next talks in hard issues.
Now, issue four, the process for next talks. We both know there are hard issues, territory, long-term security, and sanction. These issues are very difficult and can become a zero-sum discussion.
Yes, if we argue about territory now, we will not agree on anything today.
So we separate tracks. Track one is humanization and risk reduction. Track two is political settlement with high-level decisions.
Track two will need decisions at a higher level and support from mediators.
Agreed. For today, we agree on process, next meeting date, working groups, and written proposals.
I suggest the next mediated meeting is within 2 weeks. Each side sends a two-page proposal 1 week before.
That's acceptable.
Working groups would be energy group, humanitarian group, nuclear safety group, process group for political topics.
Yes.
We should also agree on communication between meetings. A hotline between delegation leads to prevent escalation after an incidents.
That's a good addition. We can add a weekly 15-minute incident prevention call to reduce misunderstandings.
Agreed. Additional process discussion face saving and hard issues.
Okay, before we take a break, I want to add a short process idea about the hard issues. We both know the public on each side has strong feelings. If we move too fast, we will lose public support. So we need language that saves space and keeps the door open.
Yes, leaders must explain any step to their public. If the language looks like a defeat, it will not work politically.